Today's snare battle comes to us courtesy of a YouTube viewer who asked that I battle off or square off these two drums. And we're also going to do something a little bit different today, again, as a request from users or viewers on the muffling. So here we have the Tama reissue of the Terminator. This is the 50th anniversary Bell Bronze sandcasted Mastercraft 10 lug 6.5 deep 14-inch snare. This drum is all factory stock. This is exactly how it came to me out of the box. It has a Remo Ambassador head on it. Over here we have the Challenger, and this is the Sonor Artist Cast Bronze model. Again, this is a 6-inch by 14, so just a half an inch shallower. And it is a 10 lug drum. And this drum, the only difference I've done on it is it has an Evans G1 drum head on it. They're both single ply heads. I have found that head seems to work best on this drum after trying 3 or 4 different combinations. Both have factory stock snares. I have tuned both drums to the same tension on top and bottom heads. My drum dial, I'm 90, setting of 90, and it's not 90 PSI, but it's a setting of 90 on the drum dial on top, every lug, and 80 on the bottom. I have done my best to get both of the snares equally tight. That's a little difficult to do with the roller system on the Tama. I can't reach underneath and wiggle it quite as easily to check, but I think they're pretty close. You will notice some interesting things about this snare battle in that I'm going to initially start with no dampening, no muffling on the drums. I'm going to run them wide open, and then after that, I play them a little bit that way. Then I'm going to put some muffling on each drum, and to the point where that's how I would play them if I were playing them live. And the microphones are equal distance from each drum. There are no effects being put on the drums. They run from the mixer, directly from the mixer into the camera. And so let's fire them up and see how they sound, and then I'll come back and tell you what I hear and how they feel. No muffling on either drum. Now I'm going to engage the internal muffler on the Tama. Probably a little too much. There we go. How I would play them, and I'm going to put a little leather strip on the Sonor because it does not have an internal muffler, so brownie points to the Terminator there right out of the chute. as you can hear, these are both just outstanding snare drums, and I'm just thrilled with both of them. The Tama Mastercraft, the reissue, the 50th anniversary, has a list price of $4,000. If you can find one. A couple of weeks ago, I did a snare battle featuring this drum, and at that time there were new ones of these on Reverb, and they were asking over the MSRP, or the suggested retail price. As of just a few days ago, there's actually been a couple of these now pop up used, and they are going in the $3,600 to $3,700 range, is at least the asking price. The Sonor Artist Artist Bronze has been shipping for quite a while, several years now, and its list price is $3,000, round numbers. I am beginning to see these used for $2,200 to $2,400. So you roughly have $1,200 to $1,500 difference. And if I could only afford to have one of these drums, or only had the need to have one of these drums, it would be a very difficult argument to have this drum and $1,200 in my pocket versus this drum. And while they're both great snares and both have their strengths and weaknesses, at least from a sound perspective, I think the Tama is probably the more refined drum. It has a crispier snare sound, and that's due to probably the roller snares. This has factory snares on it. These are Bronze snares out of Germany. They're typically great snares. I believe they're 24 strand. You could probably experiment with this and maybe some 30 strand wires, or maybe even go up to a 42. Or it could be that the way to get this drum up equal with this is maybe equalizer snares or something like that. I've been happy with these. I'm very happy with how this drum sounds and how I intend to use it. So I've not really experimented, but you could, and you may get it a little crispier. The Tama has the internal muffler. To me, that's a positive. I know a lot of guys don't like those. They're worried about noise and stuff like that. I like the rim shots on the Tama just a wee bit better. It's not a great big difference, but in the mix, and as I have played these, I've only played these in the practice room with the band, but as I have played these live with live music, the rim shots on the Tama just seem to just cut just a little bit more. This drum has a bit larger sweet spot, the Sonor does. I can get snare sound out to about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches off of the rim. On the Tama, it's not quite that wide. It's maybe 2.5 or 3 inches from the rim. And for the music that I play on occasion, that's an important consideration. But to be honest, I probably wouldn't use either one of these drums in a jazz or a swing situation. I probably would not use them in a country situation. I have other snare drums in my arsenal that are a better fit for that. Rock and roll, a lot of amplifiers. You want that great, deep, bronze, wonderful sound, wonderful note that they produce. They're both great drums. You can't go wrong. From an investment point of view, I think neither one of them is a limited edition. Sonor's been selling these for years. They hold their value pretty well, and I assume that this drum will as well. So from an investment point of view, there's really no advantage to one over the other. I think it's just really a matter of personal taste. And again, there's that difference in money. And I know a lot of times in my life that would have made a huge difference to me. I would have had no choice but to go with the less expensive drum if I could even get there. From an aesthetics point of view, or playability point of view, or tuning point of view, they're equal. I think the Sonor has a better quality throw It feels sturdier, but that's, this Tama makes good hardware. There's nothing wrong with the throw on this drum. Everything tightens and works as it should. And the roller snare system does have its advantages. Not having the straps on the bottom head, I think, is where this drum gets a lot of its definition, a lot of its crispness. And this drum is just a regular snare system with wires, strings or straps or ribbons sometimes. So, there's not a bad drum here. It's just really in what your taste is and what sound you want. There is a difference in tone. You could hear it. This drum has re-rings. They're both 3mm bronze shells. But this drum at the reso and the batter, I think they're maybe 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch deep. They go out to make the shell thickness 5mm at top and bottom, where this is just a straight walled shell inside at 3mm. And I think you probably noticed when I didn't have any muffling on, this drum rings significantly more. There's a huge difference, and that's partially maybe to the 1/2 inch of extra depth, but also I think the re-rings get rid of some of that. In actuality, I could run this drum unmuffled. Even before I put the leather strip on top, it was doing pretty good. And this is a tiny room with horrible acoustics. Live in a regular size hall with the amplifiers going, I wouldn't have any issue at all playing this drum without muffling. This drum, like I said, it rings, and I believe you could hear it through the microphones. And so that internal muffler, it's a good thing it's there. I'd have to put some gels or some tape on this one to deaden that down a little bit, to tone that down a little bit. Hope you enjoyed the video. If there's other drums that you want to see compared, please let me know. I'm glad to do it. And if you have ideas on how I could make these videos more helpful, the playing the drums unmuffled came to me in a comment and a suggestion. And I'm glad to try to do something like that. I make these so, drummers can make better decisions and satisfy their curiosity and get the best fit for what they need. Thanks for watching.